Everybody's gonna be down there for that. Cost you too much to live down there.
That money will be gone real fast.
Huh?
I said that money will be gone fast.
I'll be very
We were looking at flags. I got gas station. Closer to the town. I was like 2 miles closer. He goes, I'll just go the other way.
You all have to go back up.
You'll have to go in December.
Call meeting to order. I lead to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Here,
Yes.
Blade,
Here.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on September 10th, 2024.
Make it.
Second.
Oh,
Blade.
Wait a minute. I gotta abstain from that. Oh, not that one. was I? So somebody else needs to.
Second.
With Todd and then Janet. Sorry.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Abstain.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay. Anybody here for public comment at this time?
I just wanted to update, they got delayed on the concrete for the monument, and so it'll be getting started, not this week, next week. Is what I met with them at the end of the last week, so they'll be getting started then.
Okay. All right, thank you. No other public comment. Let's, our guest this evening, Lana Kincaid, Forestry Program Coordinator. Are you here? I don't see her. She's not here, so, okay. Next, we have our guest speaker would be Christina Drum and Kyle Hauser for Our House. What have you got for us this evening?
We were here to request the full amount of the opioid relief funds. We had prior requested a portion of that and figured out that no one else was interested in seeking those funds, so we're back to.
We talked to our supervisor and we asked a couple of the other entities, and then he realized that it would be better to just be able to request the max so that we could pay for a half of a full-time position instead of 20%. And then piggyback that with another half position that we have so that we can maintain our presence in the community in Cumberland County. So that's why we're going for the full amount.
Okay, we'll consider that meeting. I'm not sure on that, but we will consider that, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. That's it, okay, now, next order of business. Do I need a motion? Anyway, we are going to continue the public hearing for Earthrise Solar, which was scheduled for tonight at this meeting. It has been changed to tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the courthouse upstairs courtroom. So, anybody come here for the discuss Earthrise Energy? Sorry about the inconvenience, but that public hearing will be held tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock at the courthouse, okay? Everybody hear that? I assume several of you are for that reason. So, now I need a motion to do that, okay?
Was that not publicized anywhere? I mean,
It's out there on the door.
but only on the door, didn't get
In this
on?
agenda.
newspaper or anything?
Didn't you never, no, I didn't, not very, didn't get advertised very good, no, didn't.
Sorry. How do you?
Anyway,
Yeah, it should have definitely been notified before everybody came, but
so now, I need a motion to, let's see, just a minute. To continue the public hearing with Earthrise Solar on Wednesday, October 9th at 7 PM at the courthouse. I need a motion to that effect. Anybody make that motion? If nobody makes the motion, then what happens?
Have to have the meeting, I guess.
No. Can't have a meeting, but they're not here. Oh, we didn't make a motion. Focus on it till next week, tomorrow. Is that hard to do? Janet, could you make a motion?
I'll move it if somebody can vote on it.
Do we have a second?
Brian, you know the rule on that?
Well,
I was about
it's not on
to say,
the agenda. So I can have, how you have the meeting.
Oh, to have it tonight.
Have the hearing. I guess if you don't approve the motion to continue, then there's.
What is this?
But it's still set.
What is this hearing consisting
It's
of?
continuation from last.
Well, you weren't here at the last meeting.
No, it wasn't.
And the hearing was out during the last meeting. Basically, it's a public hearing for Earthrise to go ahead with their solar project.
And most of the people in the audience were against.
So if you don't make a motion, we'll just go ahead like this, and then it will be tomorrow night at the courthouse. So they don't need a motion for this, you know, they do what they want to do. They got to say, so. Everybody wants to make a motion? Last chance.
Get made the motion. So just need a second.
Everybody wants a second?
Oh, you want to be at the meeting?
I don't even understand. I mean, I guess I'm confused. We've had solar companies in here.
This is a hearing. State statute says there's supposed to be a hearing.
So all these other solar companies that came in,
We've only had one so far, the RWE, to get to this point.
so once they get to a certain point, then they have to have it,
That's
is
the
what
way I
you're saying?
understand it.
Gotcha.
We've had several solar
We've had
talk
several.
about it, but never got far enough along to be a part of here.
Understood.
and the board passed the last one.
Mhm.
The ordinance
The ordinance, and you approved RWE.
with the ordinance.
The ordinance was approved prior to, and then they came with their site plan,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys approved it,
Because it met.
our ordinance
Right.
standards. So they apparently didn't think we needed a hearing, but this company says we do. So. And they have more to say apparently.
Okay, next order of business.
Well, I think there needs to be an apology for the people that didn't know the meeting had been changed. I mean, I actually didn't realize it until I got the agenda through an email, but
I read it wrong. I thought we was just moving this meeting over to the courthouse. So I read the whole thing wrong. So
Okay, next we need a motion to approve the revised request for funding.
yes, I apologize for you guys showing up that, come over here for that hearing and have to make a return trip back tomorrow night. For whatever it's worth, I'm not happy about it either.
yeah, it should have been posted somehow,
It was posted on our website,
Facebook or
and it was
something.
posted on our door, so.
did we mention at one of our budget meetings that we were having it on Wednesday? I know, because that's how I knew about it beforehand.
We did.
One of the budget meetings, I don't remember which one. I'm not saying it didn't post, I just know that those of us who are at the budget meeting heard that Floyd had requested that.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
Let's move on to the next order of business.
Get Kroger still built.
Something for, looking for, approve this revised request for funding from the Our House. Anybody got any comments on that? Is it a good investment, or is there any other option we can do with that money or not?
Is anybody else gonna do anything with the money that we know of?
Well, we'll wait and see. Maybe there's other options out there. Hmm.
Nobody's
Yes.
named or requested other than them.
Yeah,
So,
I'd say,
yeah.
It's earmarked just for that type of stuff.
yeah, I'd say just let them have it.
That's what I said.
Somehow, you know.
Mhm.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Second,
Okay, we got a motion and a second.
Todd Blayton or Todd?
whoever. Beard can have it.
Okay. Blayton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes,
Harmon.
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay, next order of business. Need a motion to approve the renewal of liability and work comp insurance with ICRMT for fiscal year 24-25.
It's about a 9%, 9.67% increase. Property claims are up. Things aren't cheap anymore, so that's why things are going up.
The insurance companies. Like I didn't go back away, but back when machine, I told my dad to start a freaking insurance company and
So, does the budget reflect those increases?
It should, yes. I looked at the numbers.
Huh?
I looked at the numbers. It should be okay.
don't have any choice, do we?
Well, we need your insurance.
We'll make the motion.
second,
Put it up for bids then. Okay,
Abstain.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Blayton,
Yes,
Holcomb.
Yes.
reluctantly.
Next, I need a motion to approve the resolution to obligate ARPA funds. We talked about this the last meeting, we tabled it, and now it's back up on the table after our budget meeting.
What'd you guys decide at the last
Leave
minute
it where it was.
Do what?
Leave it where we had it in the
in the
budget
budget?
meeting.
Okay.
And what is that?
Oh.
State's attorney got some and circuit clerk got some.
Was it
There
for like
was not a whole
software?
lot left.
That allocates all of it that we have to have done by December.
from the
Yeah.
7,000 and 8,000. Plus
That's what for like software or something like that, wasn't there?
How much are you getting, Brian? How much it was? And what is it for?
Just for some software. I think I bought the budget, the board, and they said, well, we can take that software out of the fund. I don't recall the amount.
And what was the other, who was it? The other recipient?
Circuit clerk was also, I think that was software as well.
Maintenance.
All right,
Maintenance.
there it is in the book.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Blayton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay, next I need a motion to approve resolution to expend the ARPA funds. And those ARPA funds, yes.
Make it.
Second.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Blayton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Next order of business, we are about to make a motion to put the budget on display. But before we do that, I was hoping, we discussed it at the budget meeting, and we could spend some money for our sheriff's department to hire an investigator, help with some of the paperwork for what the investigator does for the county. But to have an investigator and do best, he also has to have a car, so. This budget we got is what, positive balance at this time,
It's
Zero.
zero.
basically zero. But we would
Zero.
request $62,000 for an investigator and $28,000 for a car. The rest would be another $90,000. Would anybody be willing to amend the budget to put that in there before we put it on display? The money has to come out of, reserves. Fund this, so. I just feel like there would be I'd say we have a need for this. I feel like the crime in the county is a little higher than it should be. I hope an investigator might help reduce some crime in some way, somehow. So. That's my personal opinion. Anybody else have an opinion?
Sheriff, you want to tell us a little about that?
Sure. I know in the past, Mr. Robbins has requested one, I'm requesting one, just for the simple fact that we have an abundance of cases that could use an investigator because our officers, most of the time, are even tied up on doing other things. If we have to investigate a case, they're called to do that, and they may have to go handle a domestic or go handle an accident or things like that. It's tough coming back and forth, back and forth.
So this is a full-time investigator
Yes,
under your employ.
yes. And I'd utilize him for other things too.
Ryan?
Yeah, I guess the way I'd put it is if you had somebody that you cared about that was sexually assaulted, would you want somebody who's a trained investigator that's what his number one purpose on the force is, to investigate these crimes, run down leads, look at a crime scene, go talk to people? Or do you want it to be a deputy who's running from a traffic crash to a domestic to a meth case and then trying to get back with you and trying to find out who did this to your sister, your daughter, your wife, whoever. And it's night and day difference when I get investigative reports from other counties for cases that we're working together, and they've got an investigator. That guy is going out, and somebody says, "Hey, look, I think so and so is there." We're going to talk to so and so. Or these deputies, I mean, I'll talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, I went on a domestic, and then I went to a traffic crash, and then I had to write a report on both, and my shift was over." So I'll try to get back with them when I'm back on shift in 4 days. Well, that doesn't get a lot done. And then they get back on shift and do the same thing. They don't have the time to dedicate to these things, and they also can't make appointments with people to do an interview. They can say, "Hey, I'll meet with you at 2:00 on Wednesday." But they don't know what's going to happen at 2:00 on Wednesday. Anything can happen. Where an investigator can keep those appointments because he's not running traffic crashes or, domestic batteries, emergency situations. For sure, if, there were shots fired or something, he would pull away from the interview, but he wouldn't be doing that. I mean, that would be what he would be focusing on that day, is running down these major crimes. We have got a litany of felonies, and the state police don't have the resources to come down. I mean, you guys would be amazed at how many child sex assaults we have in this county, and got a road deputy that's trying to investigate them. He's doing a pretty good job for the limited time he can do it, but if he can dedicate his time to that, that was his number one objective. I think we'd have a lot better success rate in convictions and sentencing. Because the cases are strong, you get what you can out of it. But if you've got a good, strong case, you're in a much better place to leverage a suitable sentence.
Very good. And how much is this?
Car plus the investigator's salary plus the car would be $90,000. Sounds like a lot of money, but if you can reduce crime a little bit, I think it would.
And we've got plenty in the budget for that?
No,
Oh, we're gonna pull this out of our reserves. Pull out of our
Reserves?
that would be
Okay.
over budget.
The car would be a one-time expenditure
That's true.
For a few years.
for a few years. I mean,
So what would happen with the car if we only did it for a year?
I think the sheriff can either sell the car if it's surplus, or he can, rotate it through his fleet. Get rid of the old car. I think it just depends on how the sheriff's budget worked out that year, but doesn't use it somewhere else. I'm sure another department would be happy to pick up a car that's got a radio and lights and sirens and just needs a day job.
How long is the contract with the investigator?
That would depend on the investigator. I mean, obviously if you can tell somebody, "Hey, we can guarantee your employment for 5 or 10 years," they're gonna be a lot more likely to come. But if you say, hey, look, we're gonna try you on for size for a year and I'm gonna have a job in a year, well, you'd have to pay a little for that, because nobody's gonna take that risk for free. So if they're coming in, you're trying to get them from another county or another municipality. Say, hey, look, maybe you'll have a job in a year, maybe you won't. Better pay me darn good for that year because then they'll be employed in 12 months. So, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have a contract. They could probably just through the union. Employee.
So we're providing this money for 1 year then?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a yearly budget thing, just like any employee. Hasn't correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but
No, you're right.
I would assume you would just hire him on, and he'd just be like any other employee. Where if you cut the budget or the sheriff's budget tomorrow, it's employment, you'd have to cut a deputy. So if you cut his budget in the future, you'd have to cut the investigator. But like any other department.
Which right now the budget is in the black. If you do anything like this, it's gonna be in the red.
But this isn't coming out of the budget.
Yeah,
So
that's our funds. I mean, it's coming out of our reserves.
so we're going.
So
into
you're
red.
gonna be in the red.
Are you guys satisfied with that?
If we were gonna do that, we should have went back and redid the budget. And I'm not voting for anything in the red.
Would anybody make a motion to that effect?
You guys can do what you want.
I'll make a motion.
Anybody make a second to that motion? Not seeing a second, I guess we'll motion died. So, next order of business, the motion put that FY 24-25 budget on display.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Abstain.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Okay, next order of business. The motion to approve the resolution to execute a deed of conveyance for parcel number 0925-200-004.
Motion.
Second.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to approve the resolution to execute a deed of conveyance for parcel number 13/11/214/003.
Motion.
Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to approve the resolution to assign mobile home tax sale certificate of purchase 2020-90003.
Make it.
Second.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. All right. Next, I need a motion to accept Mark Howard's resignation as animal control warden.
I'll move it,
Second.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
No.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Wolfenberg.
Yes. So next, I need a motion to advertise for applicants to fill the animal control vacancy.
Make it.
Second.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
yes,
Harmon,
Yes.
Wolfenberg.
Yes. Okay,
What was the pay gonna be for animal control?
No, we haven't decided yet.
It's gonna be hourly, salary.
I thought we,
I could be hourly.
I thought we was gonna do, did we do salary?
We have.
Talk about our budget.
What did we decide, because we have to do that?
They got this new law out that it's, your salary, you're gonna have to give one heck of an increase. in salary.
I think it was hourly.
So that's why we try to go hourly.
Yeah, that's what it was.
18 hours per week, not to exceed.
Yeah,
1,000
that's what it
hours
was.
per
I knew it
year.
was one way or the other. I couldn't remember which one it was.
We'll have to have a committee meeting for that sometime, to set the salary and all the details of that job. Okay. All right, we will have to get together somehow and figure out the details for that job and advertise it and hope someone is willing to take the job, okay? Okay. Next order of business is to fill the vacancy for the Special Service Area Number 3, Special Service Commission, Special Service Area Commission for Area Number 3. We've had two people that kind of showed an interest in it. One was Phil Sherwood, the other was Justin Osman. So, I recommend Phil Sherwood. I know Phil Sherwood. I recommend him for the job. I think he does a good job.
I recommend Justin Osmond.
Well, is Justin qualified?
As much, if not more than Bill.
Does he pay taxes for Special Service Area Number 3?
You pay taxes in special service area number 3?
Yes, I do. Mr. Layton can attest to what I've shown him.
There you have it.
He does. He does.
He does. Well, I've looked up tax real estate for sale, and his name is not on there.
So it could be under a trust, it could be under any number of names.
What is it under then, Mr. Osmond?
Property between me and another person.
Have you got names of that person, or?
I'm not going to share it with you because there is no requirement what you're talking about. But I have proven that I do pay taxes. I've got a check in my name off of my account to the Cumberland County Assessor's Office
The assessor's office?
for 2024 taxes.
I thought you paid the treasurer's office rather than the assessor's office.
Got Mrs. Maynard's stamp on the backside of the check.
That'd be treasurer.
She's the treasurer, not the assessor.
Is that part of the qualification anyways?
Yeah, where are you getting this requirement?
curious.
Well, it's
That's
not a
Yep.
not a requirement. If I was voting for someone, I want somebody who's got skin in the game.
Last meeting, you said it was a requirement and you attempted to disqualify me.
Yeah, and he's got skin in the game. So what's your point?
Well, if he pays taxes to the treasurer's office, then he has skin in the game.
Very good.
I didn't think he did.
All right, ready to move on?
What were some of your goals, if you do get appointed to the SSA board?
I've got a number of things that, if anybody would like to hear, I'm glad to go over with you.
Yeah.
As I stated in the last meeting, when we got started on this, I've got a fantastic working relationship with the ambulance board president, Bob Swearingen. So just with that alone, I feel like I can be productive. We've seen over the course of the last year and a half, basically a standstill between the board, the public, and the ambulance service. Part of that was because the person who resigned from the position that I'm asking for was not present. So there was no communication between my area and the ambulance service and the board. So that alone would greatly improve, I believe, with my relationship with me and Mr. Swearingen. I've come up with a number of ideas as far as the budget for the ambulance service, because there's been, again, a standstill on
how much money they should get as far as the percentage and how it should be taxed. So one of my ideas is to alleviate the tax burden on people in the county is for the ambulance service to work in conjunction with other services and private companies, for example, the hospital, the community college, and I would like to see a program implemented with maybe the Life Center, because I'm a big proponent of the Life Center, where the ambulance service and possibly the fire service, possibly some people in some classes that are related at the community college, and maybe some people from the hospital, maybe some people from our health department, go to the Life Center or any other location on possibly a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, and they do a seminar where the seminar could be a training for private companies where they go in and they do OSHA certifications. They could do CPR certifications, things of that nature. And what this would do is it would get the ambulance service personnel out into the public in an arena that's aside from an emergency call. So when they're out in the public and they do go on an emergency call, these people put a face with a name, they're familiar with them. And when they're on an emergency call, and a person's life is at risk, maybe these people, these citizens have been to one of these seminars, they see a familiar face when they show up, and that alone can mean, that can make the entire difference of how that call goes. And also another thing that would do is if you have an ambulance on the other side of the county and it takes 14 minutes to get to a call, and another person in that household or in that business has been to one of these training sessions, that can mean the difference that those people who have been certified can provide life-saving measures until the ambulance gets there. Another thing that this would do, as I referred to the budget, is this would generate funds. These would be private funds. These people would pay for this training seminar. It could be a 30-minute course. It could be a 2-hour course. Depends on who else wants to be involved in it. This would generate funds to go towards the emergency services. So this could be huge. And if anybody's ever been to a CPR certification class or an OSHA class where they have to have a paramedic there teaching the class or an EMT, somebody to sign off on things like that, businesses pay big money to send, let's say, 5 or 10 people to these types of classes. So that could be something that generates quite a large amount over the course of a year's time for the ambulance service.
That's pretty impressive.
You say, you're gonna do all this stuff as a SSA member. Are you in that area, or should you be a board member for the ambulance where you can do all this CRP training? Would that be a better position for you? The special service area is not really gonna be involved with promoting.
He's going to recommend it. He's going to.
Well, recommend, don't get recommended. Done.
Well, when you have somebody that's present, you know, somebody that actually shows up and does the job, I feel like just the recommendation and the representation of the people in my area, that can get a lot done. I have been to the ambulance board meetings. I've made multiple suggestions for them. And if you don't have a person at all doing that, you have somebody that shows up maybe once every 6 months, you're just kind of dead in the water. And we've seen the results of that.
Very good. We want to hear from Phil.
I have one other question. Do you have any recommendations of the Toledo Fire Department taking it over?
Should I comment on that before my vote? I mean, is that, do you feel like that's appropriate for me to?
I would think it should be. I mean,
okay,
it's something that should be brought out.
Okay, and that's fair. I have reached out to the new chief, and I have not heard back from them on that, just to get their thoughts, because they've had a lot of changes recently, as everybody knows, to get their thoughts on absorbing the service. So unfortunately, I can't comment until I have word from them on what both sides want to do. And to be honest, since I'm not in the position yet, I don't really have the authority. I reached out to them just because I know them personally. I was curious as a citizen, but until I have the position, I really can't do much. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So as far as my personal opinion as a citizen, what I want to see is the best possible outcome as far as the burden on the citizens. So if the positives outweigh the negatives, then that's great. But if the negatives outweigh the positives, well, then we have a problem and we need to come up with a better solution. I hope that kind of answers.
Then I
your
have one
question.
other thing.
Sure.
I have a temper, so I know that I'm not going to take points away from you for your temper. But do you think you can
I
control your temper?
appreciate that.
Do you think you can control your temper in these meetings?
As I stated, that with my relation with the ambulance board president and the fact that I have been to the meetings, so I am familiar with the other people on the ambulance board. I'm very good at being professional with them, and when I go into something, doesn't matter what it is, outside of this, when I go into something and let's say that I have a problem or the people that I'm there representing have a problem, I just don't go in there just to gripe and offer no solutions whatsoever. I go in there with a plan to offer solutions to put on the table so that it can be discussed. And I understand that there's other SSA members for other areas. We might have different solutions, and the way that it works and the reason why it's structured the way that it is, because one SSA member might have representation of their demographic and they want something different. And so this board might pass something, and we've seen it come to this table, where the board has consideration to pass something for, let's just say, SSA Area 1, but not for SSA 3. So that's how that's going to work. When I represent the people in my area and we want a certain thing, but one or two of the other areas don't, I have to stand strong for my area. And this board, it's the job of this board and the SSA members to work together to come to a solution. And you may have to divide that solution differently between all the SSA areas. Otherwise, what's the need for the SSA board? There is no need. That's why it's divided into 3 different groups.
So do you think you can control your temper?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. I feel like I do a very good job, not just representing the people of the area, but helping the ambulance in a path forward rather than this year-long standstill that we've seen.
I'm done, Floyd.
Okay, so Cheryl, you got any comments?
Yeah, just a couple. I know everybody in the room. I've had a finger in getting all of you elected. I've been chairman of the Republican Party for the past 8 or 10, 12 years. I'm just as conservative today as I was then. I'm as conservative as about anybody in this room. This is a tax service. I too am in, well, no secret that I am for an ambulance because my wife is in a situation where she needs one, but I'm not involved like he is in the ambulance board. This is a tax committee as I understand it, and it'd be my job to make everything work as painless as possible. And obviously it won't be painless or it would already been done. So try to find the best you can for the dollar to keep your taxes under control. And I do pay a lot of taxes, and I have been in this community my entire life. I don't know how long he's been here, but I've been here a lot longer than he has. I know the community quite well, and I'll watch my dollars. I'll watch your dollars too. That's all I gotta say.
Do you have any solutions on funding outside of just from the levy?
No, I have no solutions to anything. I'm going in pretty blind. I'm just going to look. I don't have any preset notions right now. All I know is Mike Black asked me to apply, and I am interested. I want to watch the taxes, but I also want an ambulance too. So how we can go about doing that the least expensive way is what I'm after. Anybody else have a question?
I'll ask the same question about the Toledo ambulance fire put together.
I don't know enough about it to comment, but that would certainly be an option. Yes, an option to look at. I think that is something that needs to be addressed and that needs to be looked at. Don't know if it's the answer or not, but it is potential.
I will add to that the statistic that 82% of the voters have voted that they want the merger of the Toledo ambulance with the fire department. 18% were against that merger, so the majority of the people in the central district would like that merger. So you did make a mention about being involved with the Republican Party and that you were conservative. What does it mean to be a Republican?
What's it mean to be a conservative or a Republican?
You need both.
Well, the conservative values, low taxes, less government, freedoms, you name it. You know them. I mean,
Well, I want to hear from you. And what does it mean to be a Republican? I mean, everybody here at the table is Republican.
I understand that.
So tell me, what does it mean?
Well, it means just what I said, low government, less government, low taxes, freedoms, less government intrusion. You know, you can spell them out.
If I could comment on that same question,
Yes, please.
if it'd be fair. This day, and I don't mean to cut Phil off, you can go back to him, but I feel it's fair for me to get the same question as he got, since Todd asked on his end. These days, everybody sees that the parties have changed. If you're asking what it means to be a Republican or what it means to be a Democrat, compared to what it means to be a liberal, compared to what it means to be a conservative. And so as Phil differentiated between being a conservative or being a Republican, these days you don't know. You could call yourself a Republican, but you're no conservative. And so we see it at every level, from federal level down to township level, even below this level. Me personally, I'm pretty positive that everybody knows I'm about as conservative as it can possibly be. I am personally frustrated with the Republican Party on their lack of spine these days. They just don't have the balls to go up and fight for what is right as far as the values that this country was founded on. They seem to be leaning more towards the progressive side. And as Phil stated, he watches the money part. So that's where the conservative side comes in, and I watch the money part, and I take very close note in who's wasting our money. And that means at your level, that means at my own township's level, that means at the state level. And the reason why I bring up the state level is because this was mentioned in the previous meeting when some things were brought up about the tax structure. I have an idea to work with our state level representatives to move us away from the current tax structure as far as how counties and properties are taxed when it pertains to the SSA subject. And if I can do that, and again, I can't do that at this point in time because I'm not in the position, but if I get the position and I can work with the state level officials, I think that would be something that Cumberland County could lead on and could possibly change things for the entire state of Illinois.
Very good.
Again, if somebody wants to go back to Phil, I didn't mean to take anything away from him. If you have some more for him, please go ahead.
Okay, discussion should be over. Where do we go from here?
Well, you know, everybody on that board is a baby boomer, and Justin be the only young person that is on the that would be on the SSA board. I think it would be a good idea, just generationally, to have somebody younger, somebody with more ideas, somebody with more energy. I mean, it's really pretty impressive that he went to all this trouble to bring these notes and expand the discussion. You know, Phil's just another baby boomer to me. So I really like Justin. I think he's.
And I'll also add to that I think what Phil was stating is, you know, looking at the budget and seeing where we're at and seeing what we need to tax or whatever, but there's a lot more legwork that goes into it. And I'm fully aware, all the different programs that are out there that could help with this. From everything I heard there, it didn't sound like that legwork was going to be done. From everything I just heard from Justin, I was hearing that. She had something to say.
I have a question for you. As a member of this community, I absolutely commend you on your ideas for bringing that ambulance service forward and finding another way to generate revenue. My question for you is, how do you intend on funding that to begin with? Are you wanting to bring it to the county board to levy taxes to pay for the initial instructorships and that sort of thing to go forward with those classes, or where does that start?
So I don't want to add anything, $0. Okay, I don't want to ask, I'm not going to come with my grubby little hand held out asking you guys for money. So for her, to answer her question, and I think she's asking about my example of putting on the training seminars, the certification seminars, stuff like that. The money to do that is mostly going to, in my idea, in my head, is mostly going to come from the private businesses that need that certification, that training. So the ambulance service, the people that work for the ambulance service already get paid. So we've moved beyond the volunteer status to where they're not going to be giving their time for free to do this stuff. Okay, I can't expect anybody to donate their time if they want to, and if it's legal to do that, that's up to them. And I would work with the ambulance board to approve that if that's acceptable. But those people are getting paid anyway, so that's going to be part of their job. If you understand how the ambulance schedule works, there's a lot of downtime. We're not a big county. They don't go on 150 calls a day. So I'm hopeful that they can schedule themselves to where they can do some of this stuff. And again, this keeps them as a fresh face in the community. Whereas now they're just hanging out, they're playing on their phones, and I'm not bad mouthing them. Okay, I mean, that's probably what I would be doing because there is nothing else to do. They're only going on a few calls a day. So this gives them something to do. This gives them some excitement, some energy. This gives them a feeling that, hey, I'm doing something extra, and maybe I won't have to go and see this person suffer because I trained their mother or their son or their neighbor, and they were the life-saving individual in that case. So to answer your question, as far as my idea goes, there would be no asking for any more money.
You are aware though, that if you're on the SSA board, again, you're on that board and you can't dictate what a private business does.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that.
Because it is a private business and you cannot just say,
it's strictly advisory, right? It's strictly advisory. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were going to ask something else.
And I understand where you're going. Once those licenses to teach other people are obtained, where does the money come from to earn those licenses to be able just having an EMT license or a paramedic license does not enable that individual to go out into the public and teach some of those courses that you're talking about.
Right, and that's where I'm hopeful that, as I mentioned, the hospital and community college and our health department can work with them to obtain that. So our health department has their own huge budget. That would be their money. The hospital has a vested interest in it. That would be their money. So.
I will say, no matter which person it is tonight, that I've been extremely disappointed in the SSA board entirely. I spent a year and a half going through, looking through programs, spending tons of time, going to fire board meetings, when that is literally what the SSA board should be doing.
Correct. And that's my frustration as well, and that's
Right.
why.
I want to state that publicly though, so everyone hears that, because that is literally what they are supposed to be doing, and it was not happening. The current situation and how it is happening is they come demanding they want more money, more levy, more tax on the people, and not even caring about looking into the programs. And to prove that, they didn't even show up at the damn fire board meetings. I mean, when we had those meetings, most of them were not there. So, with whoever it's going to be, I expect, hopefully, they will really look into finding additional funding to take the burden off the taxpayers.
There are a lot.
I agree with what you're saying, and that's why I threw my name in the hat for it, because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated as a citizen. I'm frustrated as somebody that may need the ambulance. I'm frustrated as somebody who just has a friendly relationship with some of the people on this board, some of the people on the ambulance board. I'm frustrated all around. And I've commended Kyle in other meetings for the work that he's done as far as the legwork he's talking about, that really wasn't his job. It is the job of the SSA member. And really the job of an SSA member is like the bottom of the totem pole. It's a thankless job. If you went and asked everybody in my area who their current SSA member is, I guarantee you that 99.999% of them don't know what SSA even means or who their representative is. And that's very poor. So the line from here on out going forward, there needs to be some major changes. And whoever the person is, if Phil gets it, great. If I get it, great. But whoever the person is needs to bring some new things to the table and needs to work with both boards instead of just using this board as their daddy, coming with their hand held out all the time and then doing nothing else. They don't do anything productive. Nothing. As you can see, as I mentioned, for 14 months at least, barely anything has been accomplished. And so that's where my frustration was, and that's why I threw my name in the hat. That's where what Kyle's talking about, that's where his frustration is. That's where the frustration is for the people in my area. And I know I can't speak for other people in other areas, but I know for a fact that they're frustrated too, the people that know and are involved in what's going on. So I feel that somebody needs to alleviate a lot of that frustration.
Make the motion for Justin.
I second.
Okay,
Yes.
Beard,
No.
Blade,
No,
Harmon? Yes.
Layton,
No.
Holcomb.
No. Motion failed. Somebody make a motion to nominate Bill Sherwood for the position.
I'll make it.
Second, sorry.
Okay,
No.
Beard,
No.
Blade,
Yes,
Harmon,
No.
Layton,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Did not pass.
So my question would be to Todd, since you voted no on both candidates, what is your idea to go forward?
Well, I didn't like your answer on being a conservative for one. I think you're a little off base on what I consider a conservative.
Okay.
And, other than that, I liked what you had to say, but, that was my holdup.
I wasn't necessarily asking why you voted no on both. I was asking, since you voted no on both, what is your idea to move forward? We need to fill a
Hopefully we get
position.
a young candidate that wants to put his best effort forward.
That'd be Justin.
So that would mean that this position isn't going to be filled tonight, so we're gonna go another 30 days without a representative.
I think we've went probably at least 18 months without, the other board member showing up, so
Yes.
another month's not gonna kill us.
I mean, I know that, there are some people that are very adamant about getting this filled immediately. But I just wondered, what is your idea moving forward?
Well,
Do you have a,
like
do you
I
have a
just said,
suggestion for a candidate?
no, I do not.
Okay.
Okay, end of discussion. Let's move on to, what's the next one? Bev Howard, what's you got?
I just need a motion to approve the county clerk and the tax redemption reports for September of 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Abstain.
Holcomb.
Yes.
That's all I have.
That's what, okay, yeah. Jenny Maynard,
I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for September 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Abstain.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
And then I just have a couple updates with taxes. October 15th, certified letters will be mailed to those who haven't paid. October 24th will be newspaper publication of those names that have not paid. November 6th is judgment date. November 7th is tax sale date at 10:30 here at the annex. And then final distribution will be right after that. That's all I have.
all right, Jenny, thank you. Dick Murray,
I just need a motion for the September 2024 highway bills in the amount of $141,813.89.
I had a couple questions on that.
Okay.
The contractor that did the Spring Point bridges, who was the engineering firm that did the drawings and stuff on that?
It's a Stone and Wagner.
Is that someone that they used?
Used to be Connor Connor,
Oh, okay.
just changed names.
And how was that funding? It says here,
It's the Rebuild Back America RBI fund.
was there a limit on how much they could, I mean, obviously use for a certain bridge? Because I was just very disappointed in how that bridge turned out. They didn't put a skew on the bridge. You're gonna have two spots on that bridge that are gonna wash out unless they add wing walls. I mean, when I went by there, I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
And so I was just hoping that maybe on the next bridge that they do a better job.
Look into that.
okay, we're gonna,
I'll make a motion.
okay.
Second.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes.
That'll do.
The only other thing I have is I asked Deb to put a letter in there that Chapin Rose gave me. I asked him to support our application, which put in for the federal bridge program, and he wouldn't have had to, but he was honest get back to me and said he would do it, and actually did it. So I just want to commend him at this meeting for trying to help us out down here in Cumberland County. And IDOT also gave us a letter of support for that same funding. So I'm hoping to get the grant for the Jute Bridge. We'll see. Just want to give Chapin credit here at this meeting.
Are they done with I-70?
They were supposed to be starting to open it today, is what
Phil Engineer from IDOT told me.
Okay.
So not done, but opening up where they get the barriers off. They'll still have to do some striping and shoulder work and stuff like that. But
Should they take the barricades down that are on 1200 at 121 and 45 then?
the last time I was there, they were still up.
Yes, I mean, so I'm suggesting,
You're suggesting we take them down?
yeah,
I think Lloyd would be against that because he just ordered some for himself and paid for them himself to put them up by the truck stop there off of 57. So I bet Lloyd would be against it. Not that we can't go against Lloyd, but I'm just saying.
No, if there's a higher and better use for them, that's fine. I just didn't think that we needed them at 1200 anymore if that,
I
if that
see.
project
If
is
that's,
done.
if that's done.
Yeah, I mean, but if
I
there's.
think
if
Lloyd
there's-
disagrees. But
Are they his signs? I thought they were the state's.
those are. The
Oh, they are?
Lloyd requested some more and I said, well, we're about done. And he says, well, how about if I purchase them myself? And I said, okay, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
He wants to keep,
Because he's
the
putting on
semis will
his
still go
road.
across there. Probably why he wants them.
So we're gonna leave them on 1200 indefinitely then?
I don't know about that.
I
No,
don't think he wants to do that long.
Uh,
Just want to wait
but
till
it's
all
his-
work is done instead of just opening it up.
Okay, so it's his deal then?
That's his road.
It's his
Okay,
road, yeah.
all right, so, all right, very good then. We'll just leave him and he'll decide.
I have a question on that exact problem, if I may. Is anybody aware of an incident of that road commissioner threatening to shut that road down? Are any of you aware of that?
Over what?
Didn't give a good reason. He hopped on a truck, got very unprofessional with the driver. There was an incident. He threatened to shut the road down for 90 days. And the reason why I ask is because I am a truck driver. It wasn't on my truck, but I was not involved in it. But the question arises, is he planning to do that? Is there a reason to do that? I drive that road almost every day because that's where I have to haul to get to Neoga to the elevator.
I wouldn't think so. He just probably thought it a bad moment would be my guess. It's not something they would post a road in this kind of weather.
Right.
Todd was road commissioner that usually in January thaw or February thaw is when you would post them.
Correct.
So I'm guessing he was just caught in a bad moment.
That's exactly what the answer was.
Well, the problem is, and I'm not gonna say that he was in the right, I have no idea what the situation was, but with all this interstate traffic, these people that look at their GPS and they think they can go down a township road that you cannot make the
Right.
turns on.
Right.
And the sheriff, I'm sure, can relate to this because they get called out all the time when the semi's half tipped over
In the ditch.
in the ditch
Yeah.
because they think they can just go, because the GPS says, well, there's a route here that you can get around and,
Right.
so I know Springfield Township has a lot of signs, just like Neoga has, up saying road closed.
Except
And it's
for
just
local
mainly
traffic.
for the interstate traffic. All the locals know that they're not.
And I understand that 100%, and in fact, I'm in favor of that because I think that the.
It's gonna save the
traffic-
road.
Yeah, the interstate traffic coming off of that is absolutely ridiculous, and it's tearing the road up. But as far as shutting the road down right during farming season, that was my question, is why in the world would he?
I mean, if he had a culvert head that was in emergency, had to replace, it was about to fall in. I mean, that would be a reason to do it.
I just wanted to know if anybody had any further clarification on why that happened or if that's going to happen.
Because I know one time I had a lady call me and she said there was a hole in the road about the size of a silver dollar.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my, what a kook. But I went over and looked and I shined a flashlight down in there and I could literally, if I could go through the hole, I could have walked around underneath that hole and they were hauling grain across it. So I went and talked to Julian Hubman. I said, hey, you gotta go through the field. I said, we're closing the road.
Yeah.
Because he would have fell through.
Right.
The culvert was deep enough that it just created a big dome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could have walked around underneath it.
I just didn't know if there was, if somebody here had knowledge of what the threat to close that road down was. What was that about? But
I'm just assuming he was caught at a bad moment, blowing off steam, but I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Okay, anything else, Dick?
That's it. That's all I had.
Alrighty, that's the next order of business. Sherry Droder, Health Department, anything, Dave?
Health Department has nothing.
Rhonda Wilson, is not here. Kenzie Easton is not here. Steve Maroon, anything?
I have nothing.
Ryan Robbins? Jonathan Braden, not here. Steve Sherwood is not here. Alyssa Gray, anything?
Nothing.
Okay, and Michael Martin?
Nothing.
Mark Howard's not here. Mike Black is not here. I need a motion to ratify payment of the manual bills in the amount of $328,325.16.
Motion.
Second.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $120,495.36.
Motion.
Second.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to ratify payment of payroll number 18 in the amount of $108,260.68.
I'll move it.
Second.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Next, I need a motion to ratify payment of payroll number 19 in the amount of $110,717.03.
I'll move it.
Second.
Blade,
Yes.
Harmon,
Yes.
Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Holcomb.
Yes. Okay. Next, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Harmon, Layton,
Yes.
Kay,
Yes.
Beard,
Yes.
Blade, Holcomb.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.